Wanted to show you something new that I put together this week. I think it's kind of fun, and it is certainly pretty nerdy. We've got this device on the boat. It's called a Predict Wind Data Hub, and what it does is wake up while we're sailing every few minutes and send a position to the Predict Wind servers, position and speed, and that's what serves to build the map that I know some of you have followed along with when we have the real-time map to show where we are. But what I have also found that it's doing is I can get it to log not just our position and speed, but lots of data about where we're going, and then I'm able to pull that data into a cloud data storage type of thing, and then build out little pieces like we're seeing here. So what I've got up is our track from our sail from last summer. You can see the date range is 2025. It doesn't start back in February. I guess I can show you. We can drag it open, and it's got our at least our positions and speeds from almost the entire time we've had the boat. There's a few hours at the beginning that aren't represented because we didn't have the thing plugged in and working right. But there we've got it all. Let me refresh because I want to go back to the 2025 route, and that's how I've got it set to default. What we've really got here, if we zoom in, is just a bunch of little dots. So each one of these is a point where it logged at this moment. Here's all these instrument values, our course and our speed, both GPS and through the water, and the boat's compass heading, and the wind direction and wind speed. And then I've got some calculations in there to do current. These data points that we get from the boat, they're just going to take one every 15 minutes. And so whenever the machine wakes up and decides to grab a data point, that's what we get. There's no real control over when we get it. So, it could be in the middle of a gust, could be in a lull, or, the boat could be climbing a wave real slowly, so it's slower than it really is should represent, or we could be rolling around, we could be surfing, zooming down the face of a wave. So any one data point, you've got to kind of take with a grain of salt. It might mean something, it might not, but over the course of a day, you get a pretty good picture of what was happening. Okay. Now there's a fun little section of this, and I think it's going to be July, say 16th through 18th. Let's look at that stretch of our trip last year where we were just moving through here. So I've got our average speed 8.58. I think that's including all this kind of slowness and waiting for bridges down here. Let's go back one day. So we're doing almost 9 knots over the ground, 7 through the water. It feels like it was faster. Oh, I've got some garbage down here in the corner too, where we had to kind of go slow, and it was a little slower up through here too. But when we were up in here, we were just flying. So this data point, we're looking at 11 in the afternoon, going just 7 knots. But like I say, any one given data point could be anywhere. But we can definitely see some 7, 8 knots all through here, and we were moving, my friends. So we'll be looking at this and kind of playing with how fast we go, and I'm going to try to merge what sail plan we had up when with these conditions from now on, so we'll have that information to go on, and I think that's going to give us a lot of information and make us better sailors and better know what to do. There's some other fun things to do. Let me reset this again, just so we have the whole trip. I have 2 different color codes for motoring, and my values are probably and probably not. I don't have detailed enough log information to say definitely, but I know that if we were headed pretty much right into the wind, we were motoring, and if we're moving pretty good and there's no wind, we're probably motoring. So that's where I get our motoring. We try to motor as little as possible. I know there's some that are marked we're probably not motoring, where we had both motors going and sails going. No way to know which points those are, but that's what we've got. And like I say, I'm going to merge log data and see if I can get that more precise going forward. Another fun thing we could do is add in the data points it collected when we were stopped, and those are going to show up as orange. It's hard to see because there's few of them in comparison. Let's look at just the stopped, and what we get is places that we anchored. So down here in the Exumas, for example, there's just a little map of our favorite anchorages, since this was, I think, our 4th trip there, and we knew where we wanted to be. Down here at the end of the national park, we can look, and I left the instruments on a while. You can see how we were swinging at anchor. Anchor was probably right about there. Coming here by Bell's, I think that's called Bell's, oh yeah, Bell Island. There's a real narrow channel right here, and this little patch of rock here looks scary as heck. I wanted to stay away from it, got too far from the edge of the channel, and that is us aground, trying to work my way off. I think I went aground here and kind of was able to scoot the boat through motor and thrust in through the sand, and finally got off. Weren't there too long, maybe an hour. But just looking at where we stopped, I think is a lot of fun too. All of this is online. I'm going to include the links anywhere you're watching this video. You should be able to see the link to this. And if you've got a data hub and want to set up something like this, it's a lot of fun for me. I'd be happy to help. And hope you enjoyed seeing this. And I hope you'll click the link and look at our routes and look at our data as well. Thanks.